All right, guys, welcome to our first Five Reasons Gambling show. It's our premiere episode, maiden voyage. So maybe a little clunky. We'll work out the kinks as we go through. What we're doing here is promoting Bettor Edge, one of our sponsors. It's where I love to play all my games. It's one of my favorite places to bet. It's a peer-to-peer market, so it's a great place that it's different than a normal sports book. There are no fees, no vig. You're basically matching up bets. So if I want to bet on one side of something, and someone across the country in a different state wants to bet the other side of it, a normal sports book, you're looking at, minus 110. The house is keeping 10 cents. This is not how Bettor Edge works. I don't actually know how they continue to make money, because that's how the Vegas casinos, Atlantic City casinos, they build those beautiful places by taking those fees and then, winning off of that. So Bettor Edge is a great place. I'm going to talk about closing line value here in a second, but use the code. It's bettoredge.com/5RSN. That's your way to get $20 free from Five Reasons Sports. Anytime we can get $20 from Ethan Skolnick, it's definitely time to take advantage. You can see it on the bottom of the screen on the ticker. It's a great place, great advantage. Bet NBA, bet college basketball, Major League Baseball, all those different things, whatever sport, NFL draft props. We're going to talk about that later. They have everything. They have competitions. We'll be talking about that on this show because it's great opportunities for you to make money while watching sports that you're already watching. So you can check out their mobile app. It's an easy app to use. It's on the Google Play Store, iStore, all the Apple Store, all that different stuff. Get that onto your phone. You can do desktop. I'm going to show you that here in a second. But no matter what, it's easy to use, and it's peer-to-peer betting. So we'll talk about that and kind of educate people on how to actually use the platform as we're going through today. So the first thing we want to talk about is maybe a little bit of education on betting, I guess, closing line value. And as I said, Bettor Edge is a peer-to-peer platform. We're connecting bettors from different parts of the country to have different sides of bets. So closing line value, to create like an analogy, I guess, is if we were at a intersection and we needed gas, and there's 3 gas stations at that intersection, you would most likely go to the one that has the cheapest gas, right? So when you're in sports betting, you're looking at different markets, different, sports books, the places that have the best price, so you don't want to pay more than you have to get your bet. And Bettor Edge gives you the ability not to just take a line that you see, at your whatever standard public sports book. You can make your own line. And if someone on the other side of the country likes that line, they can take the other side. And so it gives you an opportunity to have closing line value. And what that means is that, again, to this analogy, if I pull up to this intersection and I'm looking at the prices and I say, you know what, I think this is a great price. I'm going to pay $3 for a gallon of gas. If I buy it at that time and in an hour the price is $3.50, I just basically made a 50-cent closing line value because 30 minutes later the price went up. Same thing with sports betting, in that if I can get a better line or I can get a better number in terms of the juice compared to when it closes, when the game starts, and obviously there is live betting options on Bettor Edge, but we're talking about kind of standard betting. In the long run, you're going to profit. I'm going to show you that here. I pulled up a couple bets that I had over the past week, and Major League Baseball is unique in a way because most people are not betting spreads. It's more of a money line in total. But what I did here is I put up, what I got on Bettor Edge, if you look in column E, and the closing line consensus odds elsewhere. And this is not going to be 100%. This is not like the magic solution to winning in betting, but it gives you a better chance because you're getting better value. So, if you look, I bet the Arizona Diamondbacks earlier in the week, they did not win the game. I had plus 126. The closing odds were plus 120. So I got 6 cents value. Does it matter in this situation? No, because I lost at plus money. So I was 0 for 1 minus half a unit. We'll talk about what units are as we go through this show. But then I went on a little bit of a hot streak. I hit 2 games on totals. One of them was over 8.5. I got it at plus 110. The consensus closing was minus 105. That's 15 cents value there. So if you look, instead of being even money at this point, I'm plus 0.05 units. We're talking really small numbers here, right? The next game, under 11, I had minus 109. It was minus 115. Again, 6 cents value. Again, I'm still getting better money But in this case, because it's minus juice, it's not going to really make a difference in this win. Had I lost, that 6 cents value comes into play. Again, the Astros plus 112, 17 cents value on the minus 105 closing elsewhere. Now, when I add that up, again, I got 6 cents more value or 5 cents more value. Now I'm plus 11 on the different results there. So plus 1.11 as opposed to plus 1 unit. And then I pushed on another one. But if you look at this, I had over 9 plus 105. The closing line was over 9.5. The total landed on 9. So I pushed, but if I got the closing line, I would have lost. And so if you look at the difference in my result here, it's definitely going to change over the course of time. This is just a 5-game sample. And I didn't pick, to try to like mislead you in terms of I'm always going to go 3-1-1 or 3-1. But when I look at the difference here, it's a 0.61 unit value. So let's say a unit is $10 for me. That's only a $6 difference. Not significant, right? But if I'm betting $100 a game, that's $60. If I'm betting $1,000 a game, that's $600. And if that's, let's say this is one day, if I make that difference 0.6 units every single day, that's a huge difference in the long run. So when I'm talking closing line value and looking at some of these lines today on Bettor Edge, it's definitely to your advantage. You still have to pick winners. It's not going to change your results. But when you look at like the total there, getting a better value changed it from a push to a loss. So it can be significant. And we're always going to be trying to look for closing line value, especially when we get into football, picking the right numbers, not picking bad numbers, all those different things. Just trying to educate, I guess, a little bit here with the closing line value stuff. So as we transition and talk about some of our best bets, let me switch the screen here and pull up Bettor Edge so you can see that on my screen. Perfect. So this is the platform. It looks very similar on the phone. I'm using the desktop. It's as it says at the top, it's more intended for a mobile experience, but it will get the job done. As I'm looking through here for our best bets and kind of familiarizing you with the platform, my first best bet today is a Major League Baseball play. So I'm going to go into the Major League Baseball market, and I'm looking at the Mets. So the Mets, as I was looking around, and I'll pull this up and kind of show some of the features of Bettor Edge. So here's the Mets. I'm going to go to the marketplace here. It looks like, and I'm going to look for the money line. We do have a Mets minus 210. So let's compare that. I can go on these 3 dots, go to the external prices, and Bettor Edge lets you look elsewhere at different books, your DraftKings, FanDuel's, MGM. So look at the consensus around here, minus 240s, minus 250s, minus 230s. And if I go back to where I'm at here, I got a minus 210. That's a good number because right now, as we just talked about closing line value, 30 cents to 50 cents, 40 cents value, that's huge because we're playing a pretty big favorite, being that they are almost 2-1, almost 2.5-1 favorites. This is a huge savings here. So I'm going to go with the Mets. We'll play it at minus 250. I'll use the consensus number, so I'm giving myself a worse number when we're grading this, but you can definitely get the minus 210. Mets have lost 4 in a row. They lost the first 2 games to the Nationals. The Nationals do kind of stink. They're not a good baseball team. I think they've won 9 games on the season. So a little slide for the Mets, but the Mets are a better team. Joey Lucchesi is on the mound. He was in his last start, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 9 Ks in a win at the Giants on Friday. So I'm rolling with him. Get that better number. Again, line shopping, using these external prices to compare, and then going in here and looking at the different marketplaces and what you got available. If you don't want to pay that juice, that 2-1 juice, you can look at the spread in baseball. It's usually a minus 1.5 type number, but you can go into Bettor Edge and let's say I want to make it minus. If I really feel like the Mets are going to win, I could go minus 2.5. I could adjust my number to. I'm going to play that. Maybe I make it like plus 200, and I can throw that out there and see if anybody wants to take the other side of it. That's the cool thing about Bettor Edge, because all you need is somebody else on the other side to say, you know what, I'm cool with that. I've played a couple NBA plays where I've done like in a game where it's a minus 9 spread, go minus 19.5 and see if anybody is really confident in a team that I think is going to get blown out and get it at plus money. So lots of value there. Talking about best bets and going to the NBA, we're going to talk about the competition that we have going on tonight. But first, looking at an NBA prop, and that's Jason Tatum. It's Hawks and Bucks tonight. So if we go into the NBA market, get in here into the open orders, Bettor Edge does now have player props. So although you see this spread, winners, money lines, and totals, you click on the three dots and go to additional markets, there are player props. So I'm looking at Jason Tatum's assists. So we get to scroll down, past the points. Jason Tatum's assist, and I'm looking for over 4.5. Now, I will say the player prop market in basketball sometimes is a difficult one. It doesn't necessarily always fulfill. There's not a ton of action, but I'm seeing in the playoffs it's starting to pick up a little bit. In the NFL, once they added this, I was definitely active in the player prop market. So over 4.5 in this game 6 tonight in Atlanta. The Boston Celtics kind of fumbled the bag in the last game in game 5. Trae Young hit a big shot, but Tatum, he's been over 4.5 in 3 out of the 5 games this series. He had 8 assists last game. He's averaging 5 assists per game. So it's a good number, but I think the Celtics are going to recognize that this is a big game for them. They need to go in there. They need to get the win, close this out. Don't give Philly and Joel Embiid more rest. The other side of the bracket, the Knicks and the Heat are ready to go. And so I think Boston closes it out tonight, and they move into the next round to face the Philadelphia 76ers. So that's my other best bet of the night. One of the other things that's going on tonight that a lot of people I'm sure are excited about is the NFL draft. There is an NFL section in here. It's a little tricky to find once you go to NFL if you're looking for futures. Bettor Edge does have all the top 10 pick markets. So you can click in those. Like if you go to, let's say, the first overall pick, consensus is definitely Bryce Young. There was a little action yesterday with Will Levis, some Reddit things going on, people saying that he was communicating that he was going to get drafted first overall. And so there was some action in there yesterday that people got into. It dropped from like 40-1 all the way down to like 4-1. So if you are a confident person that Levis is going to go first and shock the world, you can get 6-1 right now. I'm not sure if there are external prices when we do. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, you can. So Will Levis elsewhere is like 12-1, 10-1. If you look here, 6-1. This is where you're comparing and looking elsewhere. Line shopping, I wouldn't buy 6-1 if I had access to other markets where I could get a better number. So it doesn't mean that Bettor Edge is the end-all be-all when you come to these things. For me personally, I'm not really going to be active in the NFL markets. It's not something that I've done a whole lot of research in, and it's probably better just to watch it and see what happens rather than throw money out there. So it's there. Take a look at it. See if you can find any advantages. Anytime you can find an advantage, just attack it. Try to make some money. So that gets us through our best bets. I'm also going to pull up and look at our competition that we have going on tonight. So let me pull that up. Down in the marketplace, if you go down to this trophy, the competition page, it is a 5 reasons competition, game 6. It's basically picking the spread, winner, and total for all of the game 6s. There's 1 tonight and 2 tomorrow. The way that I'm going to approach this, I just don't see the Celtics losing tonight. And the trend so far in the NBA playoffs has been if you win, you're covering. There's not a whole lot of games where, for example, if I thought the Celtics are going to win, but I thought that the Hawks were going to cover because it's a close game, that hasn't happened a whole lot in this NBA playoff. So my picks tonight, I've locked in on my account Celtics -7. I'm also taking the Celtics money line. Obviously, I think under in this game, I think is going to trend. I know the Celtics have an explosive offense, and the Hawks defense is not very good, but I think the nerves of a game 6 on the road probably keep this number lower than the 232. Looking at tomorrow night, Friday night, Kings at Warriors. The Warriors got the win last night, looking to close it out in Golden State. I'm also going to roll with the Warriors. They understand the moment. They think they can seize on this and close out the Kings. So I'm going to go Warriors -7 plus the money line, and I'm going to go over 235 in this game. I think just both teams are just so explosive offensively, and the Warriors really don't have that championship pedigree defense going on, and the Kings have no interest in playing defense. So I'm going over in that. And then in terms of the Grizzlies and Lakers game, I'm going to go with the Grizzlies, and I'm going to take them on the spread and the money line. My reasoning is I just don't trust that the NBA is going to have no game 7s this weekend. The marketing money that goes into that, if I have the Celtics and the Warriors closing it out, I'm going to say that the Grizzlies get it done in LA, bring it back to Memphis, and have a game 7 this weekend against LeBron James. I think that's premium TV that the NBA wants to capitalize on. Look out for Scott Foster. to be the official in Los Angeles. All right. He's probably the company man making sure that happens. So Memphis spread, Memphis money line, and I'm going to go under 219.5. I had the under last night and cashed that one, so I'm going to stick with the under again. You can make your own picks. It's only $5 to get in. It is a battle royale, so that means that the winner takes all. So when you have these competitions, sometimes a $5 entry can get you up to, $50-$60 in cash out. So definitely good value there, and it's pretty simple to work your way through that competition. Last but not least, as we start to close things out of here, just make sure you're checking out bettoredge.com. We will be doing this show probably 2 to 3 times a week as we go through the summer and then get into football season. We'll have guests. We'll do different things each time. So today was the maiden voyage, trying to figure things out. It's my first time producing on StreamYard also, so lots of things to figure out. But we will be back probably this weekend or early next week to have our second show. Go to bettoredge.com/5reasons. Get your $20 from 5 Reasons Sports. Join our competition tonight. You can get in that before the Celtics game tips off at 8:30. And good luck cashing those tickets.